How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a look at a few things. First of all, is this post from PoryLeaks saying Pokemon Legends EA leak tracker, and then it includes the following updates, according to them at least. They say, apparently, that the games are confirmed to be in the United States as of the 27th of September, which is like, what, 2 days ago as of me recording this video. Inventory is currently confirmed to be sitting at warehouses, and shipments should go to individual stores this coming week. Current ETA is October 4th. Now, what do they talk about? Well, they're talking about the ETA for the game actually leaking in this case, right? That's what they're referring to, that the game would actually leak within the next few days, especially because we're only like, what, realistically, we're like 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks, okay, let's say 2.5 weeks away at this point from actually the release of Legends EA. So it only is like a matter of time before the game leaks, because the situation is like this always. The games are going to end up, like the physical versions are going to end up in stores like Walmart, Best Buy, you know, local mom and pop shops that sell video games. GameStop, stuff like that. If you're in Australia, EB Games, Europe, it's, you know, I mean, Europe, we don't really have, like, what, MediaMarkt at this point. The point just being, they're going to end up in those stores. That's where you're going to be, like, the games are going to end up. And as such, there's always a chance that some people will sell them to customers earlier than they're meant to do, right? Or somebody maybe works in one of those stores, they might take one early, or, you know, it's always, like, a little sketchiness, like, in regards to that kind of stuff. It always is a possibility it might actually happen. And that always happens every single year. So there's always a chance it's going to happen. It's most likely possible. And as such, they're predicting that apparently October 4th is when it's most likely the due date, which is like what? Saturday this week? So basically this week. Anytime this week, the game could leak is essentially the end-all be-all of this information, right? It can happen at any point going forward now. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Again, we have to wait and see if anything does come from it. You know, it is all speculation at the end of the day. There's also this image posted, which this was like a few days ago. I wanted to cover it, but then people are telling me like, it's probably fake, which is most likely the case. People basically said that like it's like an AI generated version of Mega Scolipede, but like I don't know. I just thought it looked cool. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's a tiny blurred image. I just thought it looked kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was pretty sick looking. I'm just saying, all right. I'm just saying, brother. I think it looks pretty sick. But that's just me. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a crazy bad boy who just wants a cool looking Pokemon, but it ain't gonna be like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, I just thought I would share this really fast in case anybody hasn't seen it. Then the next thing is, here is Pokemon Legends EA's Pokedex based on the current known information plus leaks. This is a tentative list based on the currently confirmed Pokemon, plus assuming those with Mega Evolutions will be in. It may change slightly once the game actually gets data mined, but at least pretty close. So this gives you an idea of how many Pokemon we're working with. They say here also, some notes. We know that Zygarde is 230 in the Pokedex. The status of Latios and Latias, Diancie, Volcanion is unknown. They could be in post-game only, event only, or being saved for DLC. We don't know yet. And of course, the DLC will likely add more returning Pokemon, which yes, is true. We're most likely going to see a large swath of Pokemon being added back in with the DLC release, which is probably going to be later this year. But this is the Pokemon we're working with, which I'm going to be real. I'm sorry, dog. This is not a good, like, this is such a small list of Pokemon, I feel like. I mean, maybe I'm over-exaggerating. Maybe I'm being selfish. Because what do we have here? Let's see. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 this way. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what do we have? Like 20 times 12. So 240 Pokemon. Now you got to think about this. 240 Pokemon is not a lot, okay? Assuming there should be maybe another like 60 that haven't been revealed, maybe we can push it to 300 as the actual final amount that we'll have for this game when it releases. But man, that doesn't feel like a lot of Pokemon to actually, you know, capture, and especially given like how many cool new features this game might bring to the table, especially with the new abilities, the new like battle system and everything. It feels like, you know, it would actually make for some cool ideas to have like some cool new moves for certain Pokemon, but it doesn't seem like we're even going to have a lot of options. So I don't know, man. It's a little sad. I'm not going to lie. It's a little sad. But if this is the entire list, man, I don't know, Chief. Like, I feel like they need to add a few more. I think the DLC will probably add in a few more. I don't know if it's going to add in 100 or only 50 or 60 or 20. We don't know. I would hope that maybe the final game has 300. The DLC adds another 125, and then another DLC, maybe a second DLC, adds in another 125 to push it up to at least like 500 or so plus Pokemon in this game. Because, man, it's like a cool game. I like the way the combat is in this game, and I'd really hate it if, like, we had a lot of Pokemon missing from it in the end. That would really suck, to be honest with you. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. In case you you can't see what's on the list here, I'm going to remove my face cam for a second. Here is the entire image. So you can pause the video here if you want to look at what's on this screen in case you don't know what these, what we're talking about. But this is the entire list of Pokemon. So there you go. Just wanted to show that really quick. Then there's a bit of a theory so coming to us from Soul Silver. He calls it a Pokemon leak, but here's what he says. He says Pokemon leaks, and then I personally think that by the end of ZA's run, there will be 100 Megas. It'll be like its own generation of Megas. So he says 48 Gen 6 Mega Pokemon. So that's X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Then 26 new Megas in the base version of ZA, which, yes, that's like the rumored number. Then 22 to 23 new DLC Megas, give or take a few plus. If they count the 2 Primals and a possible cross-promotion Champions Mega, it equals a clean 100. Saw this mock-up image on 4chan. It's not for accuracy. I'm not sure who made it. But then they show here like an image of, I guess, like the little icons for the different Megas. What they potentially could be from, like, also the ones that are, like, also, first of all, these are guesses, but also, I think some of these are based on the ones we saw in that reveal trailer for the DLC, right? But again, nothing too crazy. I mean, some of them, a lot of these we already know, like the Mega Stones of, like Tyranitar, right? We already know that because, I mean, Tyranitar's been around for years now. But for, like, Starmie or whatever up here, we don't know if that's what the stone's going to look like. That's just a guess, right? So, again, this could be interesting if that's what they're going for. I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know, man. I digress. I'm curious to see whether they're going to take this. Like, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of chances and possibilities for this. So I'm going to just leave it up in the air. I'm going to be real with you. Just leave it up in the air. But the last thing we have for this video is going to be this post here from the boys over at Hidden Power, who made a new rumor has surfaced post about a 4chan post, which I had totally glossed over, but apparently here's what this one had to say. And I think this is like from the 26th, so this was only a few days ago. But here's what it said, though. There's lots of misconceptions out there about Generation 10. This is meant to correct some of the assumptions and give more information. Starting thing with the Wind and Wave titles aren't even close to the actual title, which, yeah, to be fair, that does seem like it would be reasonable. Like Wind and Wave just sounds cool, but in terms of how realistic they are to actually being real, that I cannot tell you, because like the fact of the matter is that anytime we try to guess the name of a Pokemon game, we always get it wrong. Only whenever like an actual real leak comes out and it confirms it to us, we go back and pretend like, oh dude, we totally knew it. Like, you totally knew it was gonna be that name. We're so based, bro. But in reality, most of the time, we don't know shit, okay? Most of the time, we're just, like, guessing into the wild, into the void. We're just throwing IDs and stuff. And most of the time, we get things wrong. Or we are slightly close. I think somebody did guess Sword and Shield when that was happening and got it right. But, again, it's just a guessing game at this point, right? And apparently, according to this guy, that's not even close to what it's gonna be. But, okay, sure. What do you know, Mr. Person, individual? He says, the archipelago isn't solely based on Greece, but also Indonesia. Listen, shout out to all my Indonesian bros. But the thing is, how would you combine two? I mean, actually, that would be really cool if they did do that, if they combined 2 entirely different places of the world into one singular game. But I highly doubt that they would combine Greece and Indonesia, of all places, into one region. Personally, I'd love it. I would think that would be insane. That would be awesome. I just doubt that would be something they would do, but fine. They say then, the battle gimmick targets middle stage Pokemon, either by giving them a stat boost or by changing their typing. Okay, so the battle gimmick targets middle stage Pokemon, either by giving them a stat boost or changing their typing. I'm gonna be real. I've seen this concept already brought up a few times in other rumors too, but I just don't see it making any sense. Like, why would we put emphasis on the middle stage evolution, which is like literally the middle stage evolution for a reason? It's the stage between the first stage and the final thing you want to reach. Why would you change the middle part? Like, that doesn't need to be changed. It doesn't need anything. It seems like such a dumb idea. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think that's such a really, like, unnecessary addition that does not need to exist. I'm just putting my thoughts out there. I think it seems really just a wasted effort, wasted time, where you could be making something more cool or more interesting. Like, I'd rather them spend time trying to make Pokemon fusions work, because I think that would be cooler than whatever this is meant to be. Like, I don't get it. I just don't see the point of it. But then again, that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but let's continue. So then they say they're called Beta Evolution. That sounds ridiculous. Dunsparce gets an alternative evolution depending on which form. One becomes Flying Dragon, and the other becomes normal flying. Then, 130 regional Pokedex. Okay, so that's like brand new Pokemon. Includes regional and convergent forms. Some new Pokemon are created by crossbreeding. Okay, so wait. So basically kind of like fusion-ish? Example would be Heracross and Pinsir create a new fight. That would be cool, though. A crossbred Pokemon is a cool idea. Example, Heracross and Pinsir creates a new fighting bug type with a new evolution line. Each stage has aspects of each parent, with the final stage having Pinsir's Pinsir and Heracross's horns. It's like a diet fusion. Okay, that's sick, man. And I just brought up fusions. I haven't even read this rumor. So that's like funny that comes back in here. Because that's like a cool concept. The other shit, though, the battle gimmick just seems so unnecessary, because you're never leaving a Pokemon in the middle stage. You're always trying to get it to evolve to the final stage, right? What's the point of this? It just seems a little unnecessary. By the way, they say Mega Evolution returns, but there won't be any new Megas, as the focus for this generation is on making the second stages more battle viable. But why? Like, why? At that point, make the first stage more viable. What's the point? This just seems so unnecessary. Anyway, Pokemon Day shows the starters: a Fire-type Seahorse, a Grass Buffalo, and a Water Nymph. Fire-type Seahorse, a Water Nymph. Why would you... I mean... Okay, I mean... Fine. I just don't think these sound realistic. But anyway, release date November 12th, 2026. Now, of course, yes, the game probably, whatever the game that we are going to end up getting, like, you know, for Gen 10, whatever it ends up actually being, we will get that next year in November, most likely. Like, that's the most likely scenario. So that's not even a question. Like, I'm pretty sure we will get that. So not even stressed about that or even questioning that. That actually seems reasonable. But I don't know, man. It seems a little bit out there. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little out there. Little out there. But I digress. That's just my thoughts and opinions. Maybe I'm just a dumb. Who knows? But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much summarizes it for today's video, though. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.